Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson. This is Manchester United review. United have come away from Molineux today with a little bit of a smash and grab 1-0, possibly a little on the undeserved sign, but do you know what? I do not care. We finally got to see full debuts there from Raphael, Varane and from Jadon, Sancho, and there's a few players that I want to talk about today. Ultimately, I want to address some of the comments that people made saying, like, why are we bigging up all of these Wolves players? Why are we saying Wolves are going to be a difficult game? Right now, Wolves have lost 3 games, 1-0, and arguably should have won all 3 of those games. Wolves are a hell of a difficult side to play against. They're a difficult side to break down. They're a difficult side to beat. And they will cause people a lot of trouble all season long. So United have been quite fortunate, I think, to come away from this one. The tactics were so bad. I disagree, to be honest. What were you talking about tactically that you thought was so bad? This is a horrible, horrible place to go and get points. And this is what we identified yesterday. If you're not watching the tactics videos that I do, the How to Beat series, you need to go watch them because I definitely think you will learn some stuff. So I'm going to start on Adama Traore. We talked about Adama Traore, and people in the comments yesterday was talking about how Adama Traore, he's no starts, he's this, that, and the other, right? So he caused United untold amount of carnage in this game. So the sort of game that Paul Pogba had against Leeds, he created 5 goal-scoring chances and he got 4 assists. Today, Adama Traore created 4 goal-scoring chances and has come away with 0 assists. If he was playing with better footballers, he would have, quite frankly, ridiculous stats. Today, he had 8 out of 9 take-ons. Do you know who the highest United player was? Mason Greenwood with 1 out of 4. I think Luke Shaw had 1 out of 1. Like, Adama Traore is an absolute handful. For me, he is what Dan James should be, or what we should have instead of Dan James in our squad, fulfilling that particular sort of role. I think he's absolutely fantastic footballer. He's a real handful, and it just shows how stats have to be used in conjunction with the eye test and in conjunction with seeing everything else. The opportunity that he laid on for Trincao should have been buried. And Wolves, if they could finish, would be so much higher up in the table because they've got every single thing else going on. So that's all I wanted to touch on really with Traore. I think he's absolutely mega. And like in the comments there, he's the definition of no end product. I've just given you the product there. 4 chances created that other people bollocksed up for him. Now, Paul Pogba creates 5 on the opening day. He gets 4 assists because United have actually put them away for him. This is the difference in the 2 clubs. There is no sort of product that's going on in there. Someone has just said Luke Shaw is overrated. Now, here's the problem where people have such massive reactionary reactions to, you know, I thought it took Luke Shaw a while to warm into last season, but from like Christmas onwards, I thought he was very, very good. He started this season slow. I think that's fair to say. His crossing, I think, was poor today. I think he was 1 for 8 crosses, which he's got to do a lot better on. And he was putting them all into the same area, and he was getting absolutely nothing from those. Mason, I think, at times his decision-making was poor. But he snapped up with a goal because he takes the sort of risks, and sometimes maybe he should pass it when he shoots, but because he shoots when he should pass it, sometimes he comes away with a match-winning goal, and I think that's what he did today, although it was the right opportunity to shoot when he did. He's now been involved in 10 goals, 9 goals and 1 assist in just his 11 last Premier League appearances. He's also the fourth youngest striker to reach 20 Premier League goals. This kid is on fire at the moment. I think United have to find a way to get him into the team somehow. I thought he was very, very good. Mason, he's possibly a shout for man of the match, but I think also Raphael Varane, we're going to talk about him in just a second as well. So I thought Paul Pogba was good. I thought he dictated the play from deep. I thought he had to be dragged a lot deeper than where we've seen him so far this season, really to sort of babysit Fred a little bit. I don't know if any of you noticed this, but when United were playing out, they almost purposely avoided giving the ball to Fred. They seemed to just miss him in the build-up. Now, that's probably a good thing in the grand scheme of things, that we are not really just trying to play through Fred. Opposition maybe are noticing that he's someone that you get pressed to death with, but I think it was a good thing that we missed him out. Because we were missing him out, we were seeing Paul Pogba dragged into a deeper position. But I actually thought Paul Pogba did really well playing out from those deeper areas, and I thought he was quite effective when he was playing in those sorts of deeper areas, and I thought it was a good game from Paul Pogba. I think he's just got to learn to be able to get up the pitch a little bit more, but I also think that when he's playing alongside Fred, he's a bit worried as well. A lot of people in the comments are talking about Ruben Neves. Just on the TV behind me here now, we're seeing the incident which led to Mason's goal, where we went and saw, Pogba, did he foul him, did he not foul him? I thought Neves had a good game. I'll pull up his stats in a second. I just want to talk about Fred first. I thought Fred, the first 5 minutes was one of the worst 5 minutes I've seen any footballer have, and the opportunity that Wolves really should have capitalised on. The ball can go anywhere. He puts it right back to the Wolves player. He then follows it into the box where he nearly brings him down, nearly gives the penalty away, and almost gives us the worst possible start ever. And I think if you go one behind against Wolves, because they play a back five, they have got the ability to just completely shut it down. And they could have made this the most boring game the Premier League's ever seen if they'd have scored so early in doing that. And United were only actually in the game because of, obviously, Wan-Bissaka bailing Fred out of the shit in a big, big way and getting back onto the line. Fantastic that there from Wan-Bissaka. And also with the two double save that we saw there from David De Gea. He gets the first one saved. We've seen that before. But the second one, I don't know if he gambled on that's where the player might go with it, but the reflexes and the reactions on him were absolutely sensational. We've criticised him in the past and in the recent past when he's deserved it. You have to praise him on that today, because that is why United are going back to Manchester with 3 points. Jadon Sancho, I think he's still trying to find his fitness. Didn't really impact the game in a positive way at all. I think he's probably still trying to find his rhythm as a Manchester United player and with his teammates. But I thought Raphael Varane, an absolute Rolls Royce of a performance from him. I thought he got beat in the air for the first header that De Gea had to deal with. But outside of that, I thought it was a near flawless, composed masterclass. There was a couple of times where he used his pace to get himself into the right position. And there was a couple of times where he just used his experience and the sheer quality of the player that he is. And at times as well, again, decision-making is such an intangible in football, but the decision-making was absolutely top draw from him at times as well, when knowing when to just absolutely put your fucking foot through it. And I think Varane could well be, despite the fact that I've signed Cristiano Ronaldo, which, does that feel real to any of you lot? Because I'm going to be real. Doesn't really feel real to me at all. Despite the bringing in of Sancho, despite bringing in Ronaldo, I think it could be Varane signing that has the most impact for United. Right, let's have a look at Neves. It seems a lot of you guys seemingly want to talk about what Neves did. So we'll have a look at the data there on Neves. I'll just pull him up. So he played in the 8 today. He had 2 shots, only one of those on target, 1 off target. Passes, 82% completion, 50 out of 61. A lot of these passes ended up being a bit deeper than where his position sort of gets drawn on by Sky Sports and all that sort of stuff, which tells me that he can pick up the ball in the areas that I want him to pick up the ball and where I want him to go and impact the game. The sort of areas where Fred was just hiding, to be honest. He does really, it's the right-hand side of the 6, but he's picking the balls up in the 6. That's literally exactly where Manchester United need a midfielder to pick him up. Just because he's not listed as a DM or whatever on FIFA doesn't mean that he can't come and do this job, because he absolutely can do this job. He also managed to get 10 ball recoveries as well, which is top. 1 out of 2 tackles, 1 interception, 1 clearance, 1 out of 2 aerial duels. Look, he had a good game. Good enough to say that he could definitely be United 6. I'm not sure. I think he's better than Fred, though. And I think that's, if we're being brutally honest about this is all that you need to be. Are you better than Fred? Yeah, he is, in a bit of a big way, I think it's fair to say. Also, Manchester United have now broken the record for the longest period without losing an away game. And we did it by picking up a win. So get your questions in. I will answer some of these questions. And then we'll call it a day. And we'll do 5 things. So Do you think we'll create enough chances for Ronaldo? Also, Varane with an assist on his debut. What did I make of Sancho? We've already spoken about Sancho, but I'll answer that one. Do I think we'll create enough chances for Ronaldo? Yes, I do. Because do you know what happens? Sometimes you get a team that'll double mark someone. For Manchester United, over the last 2 seasons or so, obviously prior to Bruno coming in, this was the main sort of supply route for Manchester United. It was Pogba to Rashford. And if you took out Pogba, you take out Rashford. So quite often you would see people focus on that sort of link-up. Then Bruno came in and it was extremely effective for a while, and then they started to sort of block out Bruno. Now, when you bring Cristiano into the mix, he is so good on a second ball. He is so good with his movement inside the box. He is so quick-footed that chances just seem to emanate from him. He will get enough chances. Do I think he'll score as many as he scored in Italy? No, I don't. I don't think he will, because I think there's a lot more teams that'll just completely low block United that you don't really get necessarily in Italy. And obviously I don't think United are quite as dominant as Juventus have been in there as they've been in Italy either. But I do think that United will create enough chances for Ronaldo. And one of the reasons for that is because I think a lot of people go, oh, Cristiano Ronaldo, we're going to double mark him. But you don't think he's had that for like the last 15 years of his career? He knows how to deal with being double marked. And because he's so good at being double marked, it's almost a waste of time double marking him. Although it's not. You have to double mark him because he's so effective. But if you double mark him, that means somebody else. This means Bruno or Pogba or Rashford or Sancho or Cavani or who the fuck ever, Dan James, ends up in space. Which means that their chance creation becomes a little bit easier. So it all kind of feeds into the same sort of thing. Suman says, why is Fred starting? He can't pass, he can't mark, he can't tackle, he can't cover. That's not true. He can tackle, he can cover, and he can mark. I agree on he can't pass, though. And he's in there purely for the defensive aspect side of the game. There is no one with his pace and his stamina that can do it in the squad. It's a very thankless job, because if you're not good in the 6 on the ball, it completely diminishes what you're good at off the ball. You kind of have to be well-rounded in there. And that's why we play 2 players, almost to make up for the fact that neither of those 2 lads are quite good enough. I think he can definitely be improved upon on both aspects. Who that player is that we're likely to get before Tuesday, I don't know. Why was our chance creation so low? Ronaldo must be regretting his decision. You're playing against a team that's notoriously difficult to play against. A team that's had more shots than their opposition have had in both their previous games prior to today, against Leicester and against Spurs, who are both doing well this season. Martin says, Ruben Neves ran the show. Harry just says, Norway. I don't know what that's relating to, but okay. Curious to know, if Fred was at City, would he be as bad as he is here? Yeah, because I think there's a seemingly sort of this idea that Pep Guardiola improves players in a massive, massive way. I think he changes how players play in a massive, massive way. But if it was that he could improve players, he wouldn't have signed like the 26 first-team players that he signed. He would have just worked with what was already there when he was at City. So I think there's a little bit of both there with Guardiola. Would he have improved him? It would definitely have improved certain aspects of him. But he also might have been one of the flops that he's had, and he's already gone, he's back at Shakhtar or whatever. More pressure on Ollie now. He needs a trophy this year. He's got the team he wants. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that we still need a 6 to compete. But I think we should be picking up trophies now without a shadow of a doubt. First Varane assist and a clean sheet, says Johnny. Yep. It's not bad for a defender, is it, that? Maester Ace, put that through the lace. It's not bad, mate. I'll give you that one. What does Van der Beek got to do to play? I don't think Van der Beek could have done half of the stuff Fred does off the ball today, although I definitely would like to have seen him play. Do I think Ronaldo breaking our wage structure will impact the team in a negative way? I don't know where you've seen this, because I've only seen that he's coming back on a pretty ordinary wage. Also, it's Ronaldo. If you've got the bollocks to walk into Ollie's office and say, listen, I think I need to get paid the same as much as Ronaldo's getting paid, and go, all right, how many fucking Ballon d'Ors have you got? Yeah, I thought so. Don't let the door hit you on the arse on the way out. Martin says, De Gea, man of the match. I wouldn't necessarily be against that with those saves, to be honest. He did exactly what he's there to do, didn't he? Do I agree that winning these type of matches and just getting over the line one way or another is a characteristic of a title-winning side? Yes. And if we'd have picked up 3 points against Southampton somehow, by hook or crook, we'd be right in the mixer now with being at the top of the table, wouldn't we? Oh, and by the way, how fucking bad are Arsenal? How bad are Arsenal? That was hard to watch. Listen, mate, that was always going to be a hard watch. I don't know what you expected prior to coming into this, but surely you knew that coming to Wolves is not an easy game. Do some of you people only watch United? Is that what it is? Like, you got to watch the rest of the league. That's how you get a rounded opinion on whether you're doing well or you're not doing well. If you watch the rest of the league, you'd have known that Wolves are a fucking horrible team. And if you'd have watched them play their previous 2 games, you'd have known that they didn't deserve to lose either of those games. You know, the records now say they're having the same sort of season that Arsenal are having. But trust me, they are not. They are not. And the results will right themselves for them. Don't worry about that. I do want to have a quick look at this, though. Let me have a quick look at the... I know some of you don't like this, but you can fuck off. And that is the expected goals for today's game. Because I think with where Wolves had some of their opportunities, it'd be very interesting to see. And I think they might have actually beaten us on XG. Let's have a look. Yeah, 1.8 to 0.94. Yeah, I thought that might have been the case. Wow. So there you go, yeah. United got away with it there in a big way. Roman Saiss with a 0.91 and Trincao with 0.41. Let's have a look at United, what we should have had. And it was Mason with 0.68 and then Bruno with 0.16 and then everybody else with like essentially nothing. There you go. I thought that would be the case. I didn't think it'd be nearly 2. That's interesting. I did think they'd be over 1 though. I thought they were probably going to win it. Yeah. I think that's the case. Righty, let's see. One more questions. We got any more questions? 3 questions in. Have I seen what Souness has said? No, let's react to it live, though. Someone put in what Souness has said. Will, find out what Souness has said for us, please. It sounds mental. Adam Traore posed the problem last year at the beginning, too. I like him, me. Me and Ronaldo have this thing. Ronaldo's always saying that he doesn't know what I see in Adama, and then he texts me in the middle of today saying I can see why you fucking go on about him so much. Stephen says, do we need to consistently increase our tempo in the build-up? We tend to stand around if Bruno isn't making the breaking passes. Again, watch this transform if you bring in a number 6 who goes, give me the ball, and then fuck off out of my way. And we don't have that person. Suna said that Pogba was dangerous in the tackle on Neves and it could have broke his leg. Is that it?
It's a leg break. It's a dangerous tackle. It's a leg break.
What the fuck, you crazy bastard? Is he actually serious? We just started this as that came on as well. And I saw him and I remember thinking, oh, what did Roy Keane say in response? Do we know? Someone who watched it managed to get the thing is, I turned the sound down. Tell me what you think. What did Roy Keane react to that? A leg breaker, Graham. You literally tried to break people's legs, you fucking oaf. What are you talking about? It wasn't a leg breaker, man. Honestly. It wasn't even a foot breaker. Paul Ince said it was a foul and should have been sent off. Well, no one gives a fuck what Paul Ince thinks. Premier League trophy coming home. Relax. Roy Keane agreed with Souness. Did they have a weird angle in the fucking studio or what? Souness might have dementia, says Ding Mama. He said it was the same thing he would have done. I don't know what that means. I guess that means happy days. Steve, but for sure it was a foul. No, it wasn't. That's a 50-50. If you take 50-50s out of the game, you've got a non-contact sport. It's a fucking contact sport, people. Relax. And also, neither of them was exactly in control of the ball, was there? Was there? It was as dangerous for Neves to go in on the way he did to Pogba. It's just 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Just fucking keep going. It's a pure 50-50 ball. Fucking relax. Not a leg breaker. Honestly, Graham Souness wants to go and have a look at his own fucking career highlights. There's more of him kicking people than there is of him playing fucking worldy passes to people. That absolute fucking sausage. Honestly. Graham Souness has got such a fucking problem with Pogba. I can only imagine he walks into his missus fucking cucumbering herself to a picture of Pogba, because there is no other fucking reason for this guy to be off his fucking rocker like that at all. Did he talk about Neves' dive? I don't know. Let's see if the comments know. The referee was terrible. The referee was Mike Dean. Again, if it's your first time watching Mike Dean, or the first time going to Wolves thinking this is an easy game, you need to watch more fucking football. Watching Neves made me want him more. It's great player. Him and Salniguez are the two that I would love to see us go get. Steve, thoughts on Marshall on left wing today? He seemed better in the 9, even though he didn't do much. Oh, better than at the 9. I thought he offered nothing. I thought he just wants it to feet all the time. You've got to be able to put the ball in behind or something. Sooner said if you wanted to hurt someone in a game, he would have done it like Pogba, and he compared his own game to Pogba. All right, next up, I'm going to compare my game to fucking Pogba. Shut up, you dick. Would I keep Pogba on the left and use Donny in the pivot? I think if... No, I think it's time that United now go to wingers. I think that's the case. Someone says we are a championship team. I didn't know Arsenal fans were watching. Welcome. This is what it looks like when your team gets 3 points. Cheers. Make sure to subscribe. Do I think we'll be bringing anyone else this window? I have a sneaky suspicion. Yes. I don't know that. Obviously. Bilal says Varane was immense. Maguire has been off form, but Varane made him look second class. So excited. I think we're in first class. I hope you've been first class. Here's the thing, right? I think Maguire spent a lot of time last season where he was having to sort of command the entire back line so much that it took him out of his own game. You know, rather than just go and play what made you an £80 million centre half, although I do think we possibly overpaid a little bit. I think by just focusing on his own game and having someone that he looks at and goes, I don't need to worry about him, he's fucking mint. I think when you've got someone like Varane alongside you, you go, don't worry about that, and I'll just play my own game. And maybe he's even getting a little word in his ear about him as well from Varane. So, yeah, I think he had a decent game. It's game 1. Don't expect them to be a partnership for 50 games yet. I'm going to leave you on this. So I've got a question for you lot. Ronaldo signed a 2-year contract. He ain't retiring in 2 years. 1, do you think Ronaldo could extend? 2, he needs about 134 goals, I think it is, to 135 goals to break Rooney's record. I think he could do that in 4 good years at the club. Do you think, 1, he will stay that long? And 2, how many goals do you think Cristiano Ronaldo's going to end up? He's on 118 right now. His next goal puts him on 119. Let me know how you get in the mixer, what you think, all the rest of that sort of stuff. And I will see you guys for 5 things. And also, we are doing Vibe with 5 tomorrow as well. And listen, it ain't going to go well for Joel, is it? We all know this. But tune in anyway. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. And also, if you want to support the channel, there's some extra content that you can get as well over on the Patreon group. And the link for that is in the description. And here's a quick little video talking about it. Nice one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one. Hey, thank you for